Hey my friends, welcome back to the channel. I am Huck, and today we are taking on the challenge of Tim Talks Talkies, my good buddy, and we are doing the top 25 favorite movies of the 1980s. So stay tuned. All right, y'all, I really love this list. The 80s is my jam. It's what I grew up in. It's what I have the most fond memories for when it comes to movies and music and all that good stuff. So I couldn't wait to dive on this top 25. Now, I have sort of chosen a very careful order for some of these movies because I like to give them more points. So you might see some bigger movies appear towards the bottom and also the top, but maybe some like comedies and stuff. Well, you'll see. Let's get to it. All right, so starting out as number 25, we're going to go with The Untouchables. Absolutely love this film. I got a good little mix of genres in here, so a fantastic drama. Sean Connery wins the Academy Award for supporting actor in this. It's just fantastic. Story of Elliot Ness and Al Capone and all that good stuff. So if you haven't checked out Untouchables, love that. Next up, one of my favorite comedies of that decade. I watched this over and over and over, and that is Stripes with Bill Murray, Harold Ramis. This is so funny. John Candy is stupendous in this film as Dewey Oxburger. My name is Dewey Oxburger. Friends call me Ox. Hey, Ox. I mean, it's like, you know, it's Psycho, Francis Psycho Sawyer. Nobody calls me Francis. I mean, just so many good things. So check it out. All right, the ultimate buddy cop movie. Gonna go Lethal Weapon. I'm gonna point to the first one. I love the second one as well, but the first one's just set up the tone, set up the whole thing. You know, Mel Gibson, Danny Glover. It's such a great series of films too. All right, next up. I thought about putting this higher, but it is where it is, and that is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Just love these two guys, Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, came up with a fantastic buddy duo for this comedy series, and they're just pitch perfect, man. It's so good. So good. All right. I'm going to toss in some horror next with a little Jeff Goldblum, David Cronenberg, and that is The Fly, y'all. Man, this is so good. The performance by Goldblum is so fantastic. And it's one of the few Cronenberg films I really love. I'm not a huge fan of his filmography, but this one certainly tops the charts for me, and it is one of the best. Love it. All right, now, getting into some science fiction here. Paul Verhoeven's RoboCop, starring Peter Weller. Look, you guys know this film. It is just so boss. It's ultra violent. If you've seen the director's cut, it's just so brutal. Dude falls in the city and just Ed 209 just blowing away the corpse of that guy. Holy hand grenades, that was intense. Yeah, so good. All right, keeping that 80s love going here. Next up is Batman, Michael Keaton. How can you not, you know, slip Batman into this list somewhere? I wasn't sure where I was going to fall, but, you know, I'm pretty good right here. Yeah, Michael Keaton, he is probably a lot of people's favorite Batman. Jack Nicholson's great as the Joker as well. Tim Burton directed this. It's just, it was really great. I mean, and it caught the world by storm. When that thing came out, had the Bat logo everywhere. People went nuts for Batman. Batmania everywhere. So, and it's in my house. There you go. All right, next up, I got to work the Rocky franchise into my countdown, and next up is Rocky 3. I'm picking Rocky 3. I love Rocky 4. Rocky 4 is sort of like the superhero addition to the franchise because it's like Dolph Lundgren's like a super villain, but Mr. T, I absolutely love Mr. T. Like, I love the A-Team, and, you know, just, I'm all into Mr. T. You got the Eye of the Tiger as the theme song in here. I ain't got the Eye of the Tiger. Eye of the Tiger rock, let's go. But yeah, Rocky 3, it's just, it was such a good transition because Rocky 1 and 2 were really diehard dramas. And then this one started to kind of like lighten it up and make it a little bit more action-packed with the addition of Mr. T. So love that. All right, the next up is the Steven Spielberg directed, Tobe Hooper directed Poltergeist. Yeah, controversy, who cares? It's a great movie. It's a great freaking movie. Another little horror fantasy type film with lots of good scares in it. Heather O'Rourke, like that little girl, man, doing her thing. Oh, she's so good. I mean, if you haven't seen Poltergeist, what are you waiting for, man? It is right up there in that little wheelhouse when like Gremlins and stuff came out. But there you go. All right, next up we got some classic comedies that are just going to keep on flowing and going, and that is The Breakfast Club. I love this little... I have other versions of it that are all unwrapped, but I just picked up this steelbook, which I love the locker. I haven't even opened it yet. It's so fresh. Minty sealed. But yeah, Breakfast Club, it's just one of John Hughes' best. Cast is on point, fantastic. Love me some Ali Sheedy. Oh, she's so adorable. And I could highly relate to Anthony Michael Hall's character in this film. So it really did a nice job sort of picking each, you know, it's rather ironic that almost every type of high schooler was all in detention at the same time. But it made for a fantastic drama. So yeah, love that. All right, y'all, next up, my favorite by far, John Carpenter film. Look, I love other ones, but for me, it's Big Trouble in Little China. That's right. I mean, I know people love Halloween or they love The Thing, and I do love those too. They're probably in the top 3, you know, but number 1, because it's just so bizarre, is Big Trouble in Little China with the hero Jack Burton. It's all in the reflexes, you know, with his buddy Wang. I mean, come on now. And it's so funny because Wang is the real sort of like action star in this film, because anytime Jack Burton tries to do something, he's kind of inept at it. Like he's a badass, but he's among all these kung fu stars, like, doing their thing. And, you know, Jack Burton doesn't do kung fu, so he's really out of his element. And that's what makes this thing so funny, is that he's this real go-getter kind of guy and doesn't take crap from anybody, but he's out of his element. And it is hilarious. Next up, man, growing up, took one of my favorite movies of all time, gave it a nice sequel. Here we go, Superman 2. Man, Chris Reeve, still by far going to be my favorite Superman. He set the tone of how to play that great duality that still hasn't, as good as Henry Cavill was. We never really got enough Cavill movies as Superman to see what he could really do with Clark Kent. You know, he just seemed like a good, happy-go-lucky, smiley Clark Kent. Whereas, you know, Chris Reeve was really trying to kind of disguise that he is anything but Superman. So, yeah, we're going to go Superman 2 and this cut. Not the Donner cut, this cut. Just because I think it plays more nostalgic for me. Plus, the Donner cut was not around in the 80s. So there. All right, here you go. Comedies keep on going. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Bueller edition. I mean, look. Matthew Broderick. He's so good, man. He's so good in this thing with his buddy Cameron. Yeah. You guys seen this? I don't need to talk more about this. It's Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's so good. All right, next up, I had to put this higher on the list because I just love this film. I think it's fantastic. It's like a John Hughes film that wasn't a John Hughes film, and that is Just One of the Guys, starring Joyce Heiser, Clayton Rohner. These two guys, you know, look at her all made up there. And, you know, these are probably films you couldn't make today, like Tootsie or this, you know, but it has so much charm. Joyce Heiser is so on point, pitch perfect in this role. Yeah, I just think it's fantastic. Dig it. You even get you some William Zabka in there from Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. Still playing a dill hole, but, you know, he gets his comeuppance when he gets to Cobra Kai. All right, comedy love. I was a big comedy person in the 80s, and this is probably one of the best coming of age there is, and that is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. This is amazing. Stellar cast. Look, there's so many. Like, it's not even gonna. Let's see if I go. Phoebe Cates, Judge Reinhold, whatever. See, I'm gonna freeze up, but look, it's just loaded with young talent that went on to make good careers. Jennifer Jason Leigh. Yeah, I mean, these things are people are rock stars. So. It's so good. It's so funny. Sean Penn. Forgot, holy hanger names. Forgot Sean Penn's name. See, there you go. Let's just look at all their pictures. There they are, man. Oh, yeah, you even got Forrest Whitaker in there. So you just take a look at some photos there. But, yeah, who hasn't seen Fast Times? It's great. And a fantastic soundtrack on that as well. All right, I believe I'm into the top 10 now. Yes, okay, here we go. Number 10. It is Airplane. I mean, wow, 1980. This thing is absolutely masterpiece. Robert Hayes, Julie Haggerty. You know, the Abrams and Zucker guys. It's just that they crafted this really bizarre, physical slapstick comedy that's just so chock full of jokes. Like every 30 seconds, there's got to be a joke in this thing, and it's the kind of movie also that there's comedy in the background. So if you rewatch this thing, if you just see it one time, you will not catch all the jokes. So you have to sort of watch it at least 2 or 3 times. And it's just hilarious. Like even on rewatch, and you know what's coming. They're so well crafted, you're still going to laugh. So absolutely love Airplane. All right, now I got to get me some Star Trek love and get it going. higher, and I'm going to do Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan at number 9, just because I don't know how many other people are going to be putting Star Trek on their list from the 80s, so I don't know if having it at, number 9 is going to give it a lot of boost, but I hope it does, because this is absolutely fantastic. Their greatest villain of all time, Khan, played by Ricardo Montalban, is to die for. He just chews up the scene like him and Shatner, man. It's fantastic. Love it. All right, this next film, we'll never ever see something like this again. At number 8, that is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yes, the combination of live action and animation. Jessica Rabbit, Roger Rabbit, Eddie, please. Okay, that was pretty bad. But, sometimes it comes out right, but that time not so much. But yeah, I mean, look, you got your Disney characters and your Hanna-Barbera characters all cohabitating, commingling. That great shot where Mickey and Bugs are falling at the same time, and they're on the screen at the same time. Yeah, so it was really great. Roger Rabbit, Christopher Lloyd is the villain in this, just stupendous. So I love this film. And I particularly love this slipcover on this thing. It was so popping with color. I had to make sure that I found that with that. So Roger Rabbit. All right, next up is The Terminator. Oh, man, I mean, come on now. Schwarzenegger, Michael Biehn, Sarah Connor, you come with me. No, not that version. It's more like Sarah Connor, you going down. But yeah, this was, oh my God, like Schwarzenegger was, decided to play the villain of this thing. So kudos to him, because originally, he was supposed to be Kyle Reese, and Arnold's like, no, I wouldn't to play the Terminator, And I think that was the smart call, because he's so imposing. You cannot, will not stop until you are dead. So yeah, Terminator, man, so good. Cameron, that's when Cameron started coming out swinging. And speaking of Cameron, I got him back to back, baby. Aliens is the next up. That's right. I mean, I love the first Alien, but this one I like more. This is my favorite of the franchise. It takes the first one, it keeps sort of those horror elements, but it also ratchets up to like an action horror, which you don't really get a lot of. I don't see that kind of combo that much. But yeah, he did such a good job. And the characters, like, he is a master of huge casts with really distinct characterizations. And you fall in love with each one of them quick enough that when they eat it and meet their demise, you kind of miss them, and you're kind of sad for them. I mean, look, Hudson, game over, man. Oh, when it was his game over. That was sad. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5. Holy moly. Here we go. Number 5. One of the greatest action movies of all time. Die Hard. Die Hard, man. Come on, Die Hard. Bruce Willis just eating up the scene as John McClane. Nakatomi Plaza. Christmas time. Classic Christmas movie. Take it easy, Huck. But yeah. Die Hard, man, it is just stupendous. I love this film. I can watch it over and over anytime I pop it in. It never loses its luster, man. The action in it is so tight that it just doesn't get old. All right, at number 4, we're getting some Spielberg in here. And that is E.T. Look at like a little like going over the moon. But I just love this film. I watched it again last year. It held up so well. The emotion is still in this. The performances from the kids, oh my gosh, Elliot and little Gertie and all that. They're just so good. Dee Wallace is the mom, so good. It's a fantastic film, Little as I said before, so it's the greatest home invasion movie of all time. What the hell is that? Yeah, if you guys didn't see that, I was on Bob's Blu-rays doing the Hall of Fame, and he was trying to test me real quick. What name the greatest home invasion movie? And I just panicked. I went, E.T. So there you go. I mean, they do invade their home, right? That's all I'm saying. All right, next up, focus. Here we go. Number 3 is The Empire Strikes Back. Probably my favorite in the entire Star Wars franchise is The Empire Strikes Back. I think it's totally on point. Pace is perfect. The writing is good. The effects take it up a notch from the first film. And it's got some good humor in there. The lightsaber fight with Luke and Vader is just awesome. I mean, you still got it's tough to beat that lightsaber fight between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan. That's still visually, I think, the most stunning. But this one was just impeccable. So yeah, man, Empire Strikes Back. All right, coming in at number 2, got some more Spielberg for you, and that is Raiders of the Lost Ark. I love this film. That's all I'm going to say. I love this film. Harrison coming in, creating a brand new character, so it's not just Han Solo for the rest of his life. I think this is what really made his career, because once you gave Harrison something else that was equally as appealing, people just fell in love. This guy had two of the greatest characters of all time. All the films were blockbusters, and I just love the character of Indiana Jones. This came out at just the right time for me, and I fell in love with the whole franchise. Some of the franchise more than the rest, but certainly those first three are amazing, which all came out in the 80s, by the way. So there you go. And at number 1, speaking of the 80s, no surprise, yeah, I could have put this lower, but you know what? I'm just going to give it the love that it deserves, and that is Back to the Future. Heck yeah, Marty McFly and company. Again, all these sequels I enjoyed as well, but we're just going to lean into that first one. It is a pitch perfect film. Zemeckis did such a great job on this film, and waiting for Michael J. Fox to come around. They originally had Eric Stoltz, as everybody knows, but they just knew. They knew the comedy lied within Michael J. Fox, and he breathes life into this film, and his presence around other people brings it out of them. It's just amazing. I love, love, love Back to the Future. Probably my favorite film of all time. It's certainly in the top 3, depending on the mood I'm in that day, but it is always there because I could pop this in at any time and fall in love with it all over again. There you go. That is my top 25 films for the Tim Talks Talkies, top 25 80s movies of all time to this guy. So I hope you enjoyed this top 25. What is your top 25? Let me know in the comments below. What is on your list? Send it to Tim, hashtag it. All that good stuff will be down here. Links will be below. All that good stuff. Y'all, thank you so much for checking out this list. If you're new to my channel and this list brought you here, well, do me a favor, hit like, subscribe, smash that notification bell. And hey, while you're here, check out these other great videos.